Okay, this was the notes from in class on Tuesday, March 12th. So first off, we defined a circle. Okay, a circle is a set of points that are a fixed distance from a central point. So if you look at our diagram here, here's our circle. So all the points on the circle are the same distance away from J. So to name our circle, we're going to name it circle J. Okay, so we name a circle by the central point. So the center point is J, so we're going to call it circle J. Okay, and we define the circle as a set of points that are a fixed distance from a central point. So a circle has an infinite amount of points. Okay, there's an infinite amount of points on this line, and every point is going to be the same distance away from J. Okay, we call that fixed distance the radius. Okay, so the circle, again, is not, so the center is not part of the circle, the radius is not part of the circle, the diameter is not part of the circle. The only part of the circle, the only thing that's part of the circle is going to be right here. This is what the circle, oops, if I could trace accurately. Okay, this is what the circle is comprised of. A set of points that go around a line that's forming a loop, I guess is the way you can think of it. It's just all the points that are an equal distance away from point J. Okay, all the points that are an equal distance away from point J. Okay. Let's go to a radius. Well, yeah, let's go to radius. So the radius is going to be defined as the distance between the center and a point on the circle. Okay, so the radius is going to be the distance between the center and the point on the circle. So we have three segments that represent the radius here. So again, here's the center. So GF would represent a radius, GD would represent a radius, and GJ would represent a radius. Okay, so we would have GF, JF, GJ, and JD would all be segments that represent a radius. So the radius, the distance, actual distance itself would be JG, or it would be FJ, or it would be DJ. Okay, so these are segments that represent the radius. So JF is a segment that's representing the radius. Okay, it's a segment that goes from the center to any point on the circle. Okay, and the distance between G and F, or J and F, is going to be the same as the distance between G and J and D and J, because they're all radiuses, and the radiuses are all the same because the radius goes from the center to a point on the circle, and the distance from the center to a point on the circle is all the same, because that's how we're defining our circle. Okay, a chord. So a chord is a segment. So a segment that connects or connects 2 points on the circle. Okay, so a chord connects 2 points on the circle. So labeled here, so A is on the circle and C is on the circle. So segment AC is a chord. It connects 2 points on the circle, and then segment GD, right from here. Here's 1 point, here's 2 points on the circle, and then segment GD connects those two together. So a chord is a segment that connects 2 points on the circle. Connects. 2 points on the circle. Okay, and then the diameter is going to be a chord that goes through the center. So it is a chord that goes through, or let's say contains, the center of the circle. Okay, twice the radius. Twice the radius. Okay, so it's a chord that contains the center of the circle. So a chord is a segment that connects 2 points on the circle. Okay, if that chord contains in it the middle of the triangle, the center of the triangle, center of the circle, then that is a diameter. Okay, there's an infinite amount of diameters that we could draw on here. They all are going to have the same value though. So naming, so the diameter, that is the segment that represents the diameter, is GD. Okay, and then GD is going to represent the distance from G to D. So GD is going to be the value of our diameter, the length of our diameter. Okay. Right. The last two we have on here are tangent and secant. Okay, tangent line and secant. Okay. So let me see if I can scroll. Can't really get this all in one. Okay, we'll define them first, and then we will go ahead and draw them. So a tangent line is a line that touches is really the best word to use here, but I don't think that's very academic. So let's say a line that intersects the circle at 1 point. Okay, and then a secant is going to be defined as a line that intersects the circle at 2 points. And so lines can intersect, cannot intersect the circle. They can intersect at 1 point, or they can intersect at 2 points. So if they intersect at 1 point, that's a tangent line. So here we have XM. Here's line XM. They're lines. Okay, so XM is a tangent line. It intersects the circle at point X. Okay, and then if you look up here on your paper, AC is going to be our secant line. Line AC intersects at 2 points. If you notice, segment AC was a chord, okay, because it went from A to C, it connected 2 endpoints on the circle. Line AC is a secant line. It's a line that goes through the circle. It intersects at 2 points. Okay, so let me just recap that all real quick. Let's get our circle up here. Okay, so we have a circle, right? This is the circle. Okay, everything inside is not part of the circle. Everything outside is not part of the circle. We had from yesterday the length of that circle around is 2 pi r. That's the circumference. The area inside, the space inside, that's the area of the circle. That is pi r squared. Okay, and then today we talked about the radius. Okay, so the radius goes from the center to one of the points on the outside on the circle, one of the points on the circle, from the point in the center to one of the points on the circle. A chord with a radius, we just talked about radius. Chord, pick 2 points on the circle. If you connect them, like we can draw a chord right here. AD can be a chord. Okay, GX can be a chord. XF can be a chord. Okay, AX can be a chord. Okay, just a segment that connects any 2 points on the circle. Okay, if that chord contains the center, then it is a diameter. So GD is a diameter. It's a chord and a diameter. Okay, if we had a point down here and it went straight through J to F, then that would be a diameter. Okay, we could have a diameter here. Okay, it's a chord. It goes from one point on the circle to another point on the circle, and it contains the middle point, the center of the circle. And that's how we define a diameter. Okay, and then there's 3 types of lines that can intersect or can interact. Three types of lines. Okay, we can have one type of line that does not intersect the circle at all. Okay, and that's not really important to us for our purposes here. But then you can have a line that intersects the circle at one point. That's a tangent line. Think of going off on a tangent. You're coming around the circle. Instead of continuing onward the way you're supposed to, you go off on a tangent. Okay, that's a tangent line, intersects at one point. And then you have a secant line, which intersects the circle at 2 points. It goes through and intersects at 2 points. Okay, and then you name the circle using the center of the circle. So this was circle J. I think that's the basics of that. I doubt anyone watches this particular video anyways. So I think we're good. 12 minutes.